I went to the Grand Mosque in Stockholm.
Okay.
For the first time. I was... I thought, oh my God, what are they going to do with me, you know?
What do you think was going to happen?
I don't know. Prejudice. Crazy. I had a book. I wrote down, everything, all the questions I had. But alcohol, for example.
Ah, okay. Were you a big drinker before?
Yeah, I used to be a bartender, man. Really? Alternatives for halal investing. There's nothing, okay? We have one alternative now, and that's our ETF, the Saturna.
That's all that exists.
That's all that it is.
And there's been this argument for a long time. Active has never beaten a passive fund. So what's your take on that?
I disagree. When I started last year, I think we've grown by 400%.
Wow.
In investors. Because, as you said, I think most people, they think if I'm going to invest, it sounds so big. Start with £50. Do £50 a month. For me, ESG is Islamic.
You were in the wind farms.
Yeah, saving the world from global warming and polluting. Just read the Surah Al-Kawthar or any surah. It's there.
We're guardians of this planet.
Exactly. But for me, I think all the Islamic funds should be ESG.
Before we begin, we notice only about 20% of you are subscribed to the podcast. So if you like what you're listening to and you want to hear more from us, then please consider subscribing, liking, sharing, or leaving us a comment or a review wherever you are listening to this, because it really does help people to find us. Thank you, and back to the show. In today's episode, I'm joined by Pontus Selander, who leads the European arm of global wealth manager Saturna Capital, who are offering Sharia-compliant funds globally from the US, Europe, all the way to Malaysia, and even right here in the UK. We're going to be talking through his very interesting journey about how he discovered both Islam and then Islamic finance, and how he took his experience in banking and investment services and applied it to his newly found way of life. So without further ado, I'm your host, Areeb Siddiqui, and this is Muslim Money Talk. Pontus, assalamu alaikum. Welcome to the show.
Wa alaikum salam. Thank you so much.
No, I have to thank you, and thank you for your very nice gift.
The Swedish fika.
I've never had a Swedish gift.
Can't be
Swedish fika. What does fika mean?
Fika it's a very Swedish word. Fika, you can say, if you say you want to go for a coffee.
Yeah.
You're saying,
a fika.
Should we have a fika?
A fika,
in Swedish.
Okay.
And fika is usually involved something to drink and something to eat.
Okay.
Biscuits or...
So it's a conversation
cinnamon
over...
buns.
Over a
Swedish
snack.
cinnamon buns.
That's very nice. Should we crack these open during the conversation?
Yeah, if you want to.
Yeah, sure.
Go ahead.
I'm a little bit hungry. There we go. But
I thought I'd bring something Swedish at least today.
Thank you so much.
Beside myself.
And we should talk about that, because of course you hail from Sweden.
Yeah.
You're here visiting. What brings you to the UK?
I was at the IFN UK Forum yesterday.
Yes, where we met yesterday.
Islamic Finance Conference.
Yes,
so,
of course.
Yeah.
Please.
I'm trying to... Oh, look at that. I'm trying to get into... first of all, it was Saturna Capital. I joined last year as the European consultant for them. So we're working... So we have our ETF, the Saturna Capital ETF, listed on the London Stock Exchange in British pounds and US dollars. And we're also listed in Germany.
Oh, really?
In Frankfurt, yeah.
Okay.
In the Cetra.
And Saturna's been going for a couple of decades now, right?
Yeah, since 1986, actually.
1986.
The first fund, the Amana Income Fund, was actually founded in 1986.
Wow. Okay.
And,
So,
and managed by Saturna.
Is the founder Muslim?
Founder of Saturna Capital is not Muslim. No, Nick Kaiser, his name is.
Okay.
But he was approached in 1986 because he was a wealth manager, specializing in stocks and also in ethical investments, which was very early for 1986. And he was approached by Dr. Mirza, a few Muslims. They came together. They wanted to do a Sharia compliant fund, because there weren't really any at the time
in Europe,
in US.
Oh, and this was in the US?
Yeah, this is in the US.
So Saturna Capital started in the US?
In the US,
Okay,
yeah. So
fine.
in Bellingham, Washington State.
Wow, so the Muslim population in the US, even though they were relatively small, especially in the 80s, it couldn't be more than a couple million, 2-3 million people.
Oh, yeah, maybe.
But still, they had the wherewithal to actually think, okay, let's set up.
Yeah,
this.
and the wealth for it.
Yeah,
definitely.
For sure. So this Dr. Mirza set up the Amana Fund, is it?
Yeah, together with, and was helped by Nick Kaiser then. And
Fine.
Nick Kaiser started Saturna Capital in 1989.
Okay.
And kind of incorporated. So we've been managing the fund since then.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Very cool. I want to get into all of it about how you came to Saturna and do that. Yeah, you go for it. It's always funny when the guest has a drink or some food, and I feel like you guys are talking the whole time. You don't get to partake in anything.
I'll leave the biscuit there.
Yeah, I want to get into all of it. But first, you have a very interesting journey because, of course, as some of the viewers may have seen from your name, you weren't born into a Muslim household. You're a revert to the religion. So it's always so interesting because there are many non-Muslims who work in Islamic finance, but very few of them actually became Muslim in a way. So I'd love to hear your story. You've told me a little bit about it.
Yeah.
But I would love to know a bit more. How did you discover Islam in Sweden of all places?
In Sweden of all places. Yeah, it's a very strange story, and every time I get the question, I have to kind of ponder on how did it start, because I was not religious. My family wasn't religious. My grandmother was actually a devout Christian.
Oh, really? Okay.
But our family was not. And I would say I was an atheist. I didn't believe in God. But also I would say, and this is quite funny, they done... so if you would ask me, do you believe in God? No, I would say, but I believe in something.
Really?
Yeah, and this is very common in Scandinavia. This is especially Sweden. I think I read somewhere they did a survey on this, that Swedish people are the least believers in a religion, but very, what would you say, spiritual.
The spiritual people.
Yeah. So if I would ask a friend, you know, non-religious friend in Sweden, like, do you believe in God? No, but I believe in something.
There's something out there.
Something.
Yeah.
That's God, isn't it?
Gosh.
At least, for me.
Where does that come from? Why are the Swedish people so spiritual? Does it go back to the Viking times?
Yeah, maybe.
I'm not sure. And then you guys are, but there's so much nature as well in Sweden, so perhaps that has something to do with it.
It's no, I think, you have all the folklore and everything about, goblins and like
trolls.
Anywhere else. Yeah, trolls. And it's, but I don't know. But for me, I kind of go back when my father became sick in cancer when I was 14, turning 15.
Right.
And he was sick for a few years. And I just kind of pushed it away. I didn't, it's going to be fine. It's going to be fine. And when he finally died, I was there with him by his side in a hospital in Stockholm. And, when he died, everything just burst. Okay. So, and I realized he's not going to make it. That's when I realized. So I ran out of the hospital. I ran under the freeway. There's a park right next to the hospital there in Stockholm called Karolinska Institutet. And there I was on a small mountain, like in the park, and I was shouting, why did you do this? Atheist? Who am I shouting at? So kind of, I think this is kind of
the beginning,
where something started. I wasn't looking for anything at that time. I was 17. I was just about to turn 18. But I started thinking about death. What's going to happen?
Sure.
Is there anything? I was having questions, about it. So
That was almost the beginning of your journey.
Yeah, so I think that's where I have to start, and then, but nothing really happened. I worked a few years. I started university. I was studying business. I was becoming the richest stockbroker in the world.
That was your ambition?
Yeah, that was my ambition. Money was everything for me.
Where did that come from?
Crazy. I don't know. I didn't come from an entrepreneur.
No? What did your parents do?
My father was CFO for a government-owned company.
Mm-hmm.
My mom was a nurse, X-ray nurse.
Okay.
So I didn't really have anything with me. I just, I don't know. I thought money was cool. that's the
money
thing.
For the sake of it.
Yeah. So, but after 2 years into university, I went traveling. I went backpacking with a friend.
Okay.
And we went around Asia, Thailand, Indonesia, Malaysia, Nepal, Australia, and so on. So I was away for 9.5 months.
Had you ever traveled before?
No, not like that. Okay. No. So that was an extremely good experience for me.
Wow.
And especially because I saw poverty for the first time in my life, in real life. When you see stuff on TV, you can't really connect. I mean, it's sad, it's horrible, but it's like your brain doesn't really understand it until you actually see it in real life.
Sure.
So I came back from that trip, and I was thinking maybe, money is not that important. Maybe I'll work for Save the Children or charity.
Really? So it changed your mindset completely?
Me. Yeah.
You thought you'd go full into charity?
Yeah, not full, but I had so it's kind of a transition of me. I considered myself quite egoistic before, so, and I think that trip did something with me. That journey, it was a journey really, and I decided when I finished university, when everyone else got a job, I went to South America instead for 6 months with the ambition to work for like a charity or like orphans or and after that, and during my time in university, I met a lot of, I had some Muslim friends, and one of them was a girl, and we had a lot of conversations about religion, and I was very negative.
Really?
Yeah, I was like, I had so much prejudice against religion. It's all wars, in Islam. And this is even before 9/11, so...
Okay, so you were talking about this before.
So this is 98, 99.
Fine.
And
how many
very
Muslims,
prejudiced.
There were Muslims in your university. How many were there in Sweden?
I can't remember at the time. I think nowadays we're around 10% of the population.
Okay.
So out of 10.7 million in Sweden, we are roughly around 1 million. Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
So
are they mainly, where did they come from?
They came from, I think, the early Muslims were Turks. They came in the 60s, since Sweden we joined the World War II. We didn't have anything to build. We built, in Europe.
Yeah.
So Swedish companies were, shipping steel and construction. And so, the industry was booming in Sweden. So a lot of people came from former Yugoslavia, from Turkey, North Africa, to work in the industry.
And their kids went to universities, and that's who you met.
But it was quite a small population. I think the most of the Muslim population, refugees, Somalia, Eritrea, Bosnia during the 90s, obviously Syrians, Iraqis, some Iranians as well,
But this girl that you used to debate religion with, was it just like a fun thing for you to do, or were you genuinely curious? Why?
No, the thing is, what happened there, we kind of split parts. I went to Stockholm. I finished university, and she came back in, because I was running a company in Stockholm in 2003, and she showed up
Okay.
after 4 years
Just out of the
from
blue.
nowhere. Because
You-
she's been in the US to study,
Fine.
and we, she says, should we have a fika? I say, yeah, why not? You know,
Yeah.
I was quite baffled. Like, how do you know? How did you find me? No, so we sat there in a coffee shop in Stockholm, had a fika, and it came over me that, you know, I felt really ashamed that, you know, how I treated her. So I said, you know, I'm sorry about what I said about Islam and everything. And I said, you know what? It was all prejudice. I don't know anything about Islam, so I'm going to borrow a book. So, yeah, all right. Said and done. I borrowed a few books from a friend. I studied religion in university. And I found this, you know, what I read about God, Allah in Islam, that's something we can't see, we can't feel, we can't understand. It's huge. It's too big for us, for our you know, mentality to understand. So that's where I thought, oh, this is the I don't believe in God, but I believe in something. You know, because God, I think this. I'm coming back to this. I think for many people, because of, at least for me, because of growing up in a Christian society, you go to church, you see Jesus on a cross, you see paintings with a man on the cloud.
Of course, you think
God
is a
man.
Yeah.
And I think this is the problem for Swedish people. They don't believe God is a man. Okay? So that's why you say, God, I don't believe in God, but I believe in something. So this is what kind of sparked my interest in Islam.
And that, until you researched it, you kind of thought, oh, that's probably how most religions see
Yeah,
God,
yeah,
as some sort of man.
exactly.
Yeah, interesting.
So, yeah, that's...
And did you study any other religions, or?
I did, yeah, I read a bit about Buddhism and... yeah, something.
Interesting.
Christianity, no, not really. Wasn't for me. This man thing was...
Yeah.
There was a problem.
How did your family react? So
this is January 2003.
And you took your
We have a
Shahada.
fika, and it took a while. I borrowed a few books. I went to the Grand Mosque in Stockholm.
Okay.
For the first time. I was shitting it. I thought, oh my God, what are they going to do with me, you know?
What do you think was going to happen?
I don't know. You know, prejudice, crazy. What's going to happen to me? It's like, oh, I went in and everyone was super friendly, you know. Oh, welcome. And so I bought a few books there, and I got some contacts from this girl's relatives, actually. It's like a phone number to phone some Muslims, some alims to ask questions.
Fine.
And I had a friend of mine. Became a very good friend of mine. He studied in Yemen and in Tarim, and he was very, very knowledgeable. So I used to call him up. I had a book. I wrote down, you know, everything, all the questions I had. You know, hijab, you know, Sharia, whatever. Anything I could come up with. And I phoned him and I asked him, okay, why is it like this? And it could be quite harsh sometimes, unfortunately, but so why it like this? And he gave me an answer. And I didn't, sometimes I'm like, okay, makes sense. But a lot of times like, no, I don't like that. Very stubborn, very stubborn.
Your response was, I don't like
that.
You just didn't like the answer?
Yeah.
Can you give me an example?
No, I don't like the answer, no.
To what?
Okay.
Can you give an example? Was it the hijab one, or praying 5 times a day?
Yeah, because I couldn't understand it. I couldn't. Some things I could not understand, and I just, the first thing that came to mind, I don't like this. Okay, I don't understand it. I don't like it. So yeah, I was just very stubborn. But usually but alcohol, for example.
Okay. Were you a big drinker before?
Yeah, I used to be a bartender, man. You know,
Really?
like, yeah. Messing about, you know, and I thought, you know, I can have a glass of wine or a beer. Why? It doesn't hurt. But then I thought, you know, okay, if you look at it from a bigger perspective, this was how I thought about it. I mean, if you look at how much damage alcohol and drugs does to this society, and how much it costs in life, in money, in broken families, broken life, then I started to think, okay, maybe it's out of solidarity towards, even if I can handle a glass of wine on a Friday, maybe my neighbor will beat his wife up and kids because he gets drunk. Okay, so I keep away from alcohol because he does.
That was your way of reasoning.
Yeah.
For it.
So I kind of, okay, this is, so that's why I started understanding that Islam is for the whole society.
Exactly.
We're all linked, you know. We're all helping each other.
Hey, assalamu alaikum. Before we continue, I really wanted to share a little bit about what Kestrl is and what we're doing. Kestrl is a fintech on a mission to help over 1 billion people to grow their wealth without compromising on their beliefs. And we're doing that by launching our very own digital bank later this year here in the UK. So if you'd like to, sign up and become one of our first 1,000 customers who'll get free access to all of our services for life. Please sign up through the link wherever you're listening to this podcast. Free access for life means access to features such as our Sharia compliant current account, savings products, investing into the likes of gold, crypto, stocks and shares, all of these features and more, but we're only making it available to the first 1,000 customers. So please check this out. It's not just about avoiding interest, it's about ensuring that our money is being used to do good in the world and not for all the things that banks are putting it towards, whether it's funding wars in the Middle East, pollution, housing crisis, what have you. So please sign up to Kestrl today. Thank you. Now back to the show. It's so interesting you say that because in 2 episodes before this, we interviewed Sheikh Salman from FIDA, who is the head of legal and the Sharia scholar. Yeah. And it became a conversation which we weren't really expecting. We thought we were going to be talking about home financing, but it became like, you know, this is his framework for Sharia and how he thinks about it now. And we talked about this point, and he mentioned something that for a lot of new Muslims, they get caught up in the details about, you know, pray 5 times a day, you can't drink, no fornication, this kind of thing. When, you know, his advice to new Muslims is like, don't worry about all that stuff. Just believe, like that's the main thing you need to do, and everything else will come. And he made a very good point, which was for the first Muslims, they weren't immediately told stop drinking.
No, exactly.
Stop committing zina. It came later, right? The message was what came first, and then it was slowly phased out, right? There's like three specific revelations about alcohol that came saying it's not good for you, and then stop drinking it when you're praying, and then eventually stop drinking it. It's because people would have rejected it. Exactly. They just gotten caught up in the rules, or that you need to be praying 5 times a day. Everyone would be like, what's this? This is like so many, right? Was that daunting for you, the prayer part?
Yeah.
Really?
I was very stubborn there as well. I thought 5's too much. I'll do 2.
Okay.
Fajr, Isha.
You chose Fajr? Okay.
Yeah. You know, when I finally did Shahada, it took me 11 months, and I kind of felt, you know, always like, even that summer I felt that I was drawn towards it. But I did Shahada in November in 2003 during Ramadan. Wow. And it was easy, you know. Fajr was very late anyway.
Do you live in Sweden? Do you live in a place where it's dark all the time, or it's light all the time?
In Sweden, in the far north of Sweden, you have, I mean, between December and I think 5th of December and 5th of January, the sun
It never rises.
No. So you have like a Maghrib.
Forever.
Dawn and Maghrib all day, you know, so you just, I don't know what you do with prayers. You just,
I guess they pray them. Either follow the next closest city or...
Yeah. They do. It's quite funny. So we actually visited Kiruna, it's called, in December this year.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. with some people from UK, from Muslim UK.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
So they came there, and it's like, where's the sun? You know,
Crazy.
How do we pray?
Wow.
We visited a mosque there. So
There's a mosque?
Yeah.
Wow.
There's a mosque. It's the furthest
The most northerly mosque?
in Sweden, at least. I
Okay.
think Norway actually have because
More.
Norway comes on top of Sweden.
Yeah.
So I think they have the most northern mosque. but
Subhanallah, that's
it's
crazy.
great.
Do you
And
go-
it was dawn.
Wow.
The whole, the pink, nice pink color on the sky. So yeah,
Wow, subhanallah.
alhamdulillah.
Do you guys get polar bears?
Huh?
Do you get polar bears?
No, not in Sweden.
No, in Sweden.
Norway.
In Norway, yeah.
Yeah, Norway, Lofoten and that, and they'll get polar bears.
Nice.
We had brown bears.
Okay,
Yeah,
nice.
There's
nice.
enough of those. So yeah.
Enough of those
Brown
to worry
bears and
about.
reindeers and moose. That's
Okay,
that's
very
what you
cool.
get in Sweden.
I'll have to go one
Wolves.
day.
Yeah.
Would love to.
Anytime.
No,
So the prayer was,
you started with the 2.
I started with the 2.
Okay.
And then I decided after a couple of months that I said, okay, I'm going to do 3. Yeah, that's it. And I think I did 3 for 2 days. And then I thought, all right, Pontus Selander, what are you doing, You're so stubborn. Just drop this. If you can do 3, you can do 5. So I did 5 then. And alhamdulillah, and I had to backtrack those prayer I missed.
Yeah, but
So-
subhanallah, what a journey. What a journey.
Yeah, alhamdulillah.
Yeah.
So, and I mean, it is a journey, isn't it? Islam, you learn new things. You have to constantly work on yourself, your nafs, it's how you treat people. And
Did you ever get back in touch with that girl, and does she know that she's responsible for you?
Yeah. No, she knows.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
I thought the story was
A
going to
good
end,
friend-
and then with you saying, and then we got married. And
No,
then,
we didn't.
okay.
No, we didn't. I'm very good friends with the brother, actually. So,
Oh, nice, okay.
Very nice family. Alhamdulillah, yeah. I wish
Mashallah,
them
nice.
all the best.
Amazing.
And, wish Jannah for them, all of them.
Good.
I mean, they opened the door for me to Islam. So that's, could it
And
be anything better?
How did your family did you have siblings or
No.
your mother?
No, I was the only child, actually.
Okay.
So my mother was, I think, a bit scared because also prejudice, of course.
And she was
against-
fresh out of 9/11.
Yeah, and she
yeah.
grew up with the evangelical Christian, in the far north. And it was quite harsh at the time when she grew up. So it was like anything you did, okay, you're going to hell. If you grow up in that environment, it's just you're gonna
of
have
course.
a bad impression about
religion as a
yeah.
whole.
But I think I took her to mosque a few times in the beginning, and just to ease her up, to like Muslims are not dangerous, we are like, when I came to mosque first time, like, oh, what's gonna happen?
They've been pretty accepting, your family as well.
Yeah,
then.
pretty accepting.
Okay, good.
Maybe a few older ones in the north that maybe had some issues with it.
Okay.
But,
You don't seem to care too much.
No, I don't
Okay.
care. I've never been anyone that cared too much what people think anyway.
Okay, nice.
So
Good.
I try to, yeah.
How was the...
I think it changed. I hope it changed me to a better person. I don't know. I hope so.
Yeah.
I'm still struggling,
Yeah, everyone is. Did you how was the experience being a revert? Because I've heard some crazy stories of like reverts in their early days saying they felt they didn't really have a community, or their family left them, and then they're sort of doing this journey suddenly alone,
Unfortunately, there are probably cases like that, yes. And if you're a shy person, or you don't reach out like I do, I just grab people and start talking to them, and if you're extrovert, you're gonna get invited. If you're introvert, you might not be. So that's something I think for the community to keep an eye out and actually involve and invite.
Yeah.
And I remember the first. This is. I mean, there's so many tests. It's amazing from Allah. The first. So I did Shahada in Ramadan, November. So first Eid was my first Eid was in December, right? Eid al-Fitr, and I went to Grand Mosque, for Eid prayer. Wow, nice. Oh, so many. So I saw all the Muslims. I just love the, people from Africa, from Asia, from Middle East, from Sweden. I just love the mixture of people. I just loved it. And it was December, so it was cold. So I had my big, fat polar jacket, very expensive. I hang it in the back of the road, mosque. And after Eid prayer, it was gone. That was my first experience as a new Muslim at Eid prayer. And I was like, all right, this is a test. Are you going to be mad about losing money, or are you going to be just alhamdulillah? Okay, so I thought this is a test. But what happened was, when the people in the masjid was hearing about this, because I asked a few, have you seen this jacket? They were just,
furious.
Yeah. Oh, what happened? And, so all of these nice things happened, because it was like -10 outside. And I was like, so one of the taxi drivers took me home and invited me for dinner with his family. And, all these good things came out of losing this jacket.
And you're not reacting badly, because someone might have just been like, oh, screw this. Yeah. I'm leaving this religion.
I can't. Maybe someone needed it, Yeah. Allahu alam. I can't judge. I don't know.
That's a really good way of thinking about it.
So I think that's how we need to think. And losing money, So there are people getting bombed.
Yeah,
people without, what's a jacket?
That's a good way of thinking about it. It was -10 degrees outside, so I think you did need a jacket, though. So that was something. So of course, I want to come on to Saturna as well a little bit,
sure.
Because you were working in financial services.
Yeah.
As well.
I was co-funding a financial advisory.
Okay, so you're doing financial advice.
Yeah.
Okay, you were running that, and then how did suddenly you became Muslim? How did that? Did you know about Islamic finance?
I did. I became Muslim in 2003, and I co-founded this company in 2005.
Oh, afterwards. Okay,
yes,
fine.
I was actually. Yeah, I was Muslim.
Yeah.
When I co-founded.
Okay.
And maybe that's the entrepreneur inside of me, that I love trying new things. Give me a goal and an obstacle, and I'll go for it. So it was a friend from the north as well, from university, asked me, because he was in finance, and I was running another company at the time in telecoms, but he wanted me to join. And I said, yeah, okay, let's go.
Okay.
And
what were you chief operating officer?
We're going to make so much money. I said, yeah, okay, let's go. the money came back, like, all right. And I thought about it before, because I didn't know. I know, okay, riba, interest, we can't work with that. But we're doing mutual funds mostly.
So it's mainly investing into companies and equity as opposed to debt-based instruments,
mutual
which
funds,
generate
really.
interest.
Yeah. So helping companies and company owners, high net worth individuals, pension planning and all of that.
Sure.
But after a few years, we started working with structured products. And that was the big thing then in 2005, 2006, 2007.
Of course, in the run-up to the global
crisis,
exactly. Right?
So, and I mean, if everyone doesn't know what a structured product is actually a bond and options. So both are haram. It's like 100% haram thing, right? And that's when I started thinking about, what am I doing? This is not good. And I also got married. I met my wife in actually here in London in 2007.
Oh, your wife's from the UK?
Yeah,
Okay,
she's from
nice.
Blackburn.
Okay.
Yeah, lovely
Okay.
Blackburn.
Nice.
Yeah, it's amazing. Blackburn grown on me. First time I went to Blackburn, I was like, oh God, what is this? But it's actually is a lovely town.
Nice, okay.
It is, because the surroundings is, you're in the countryside, but there's this town in there. I don't know how many mosques there are in Blackburn.
There's a lot.
It's
yeah.
crazy. Good food and all of that.
So her family's all still there. You go there.
Yeah.
regularly?
Alhamdulillah, yeah.
Wow.
I have the best family.
Okay, from Stockholm to
Best
Blackburn.
wife, best family, best kids. They're doing my head in.
Mashallah, amazing.
I'm doing my wife's head in, so I don't know.
Good. But
Alhamdulillah.
so you met your wife, you got her married,
Yeah.
and suddenly you found your company was leading you towards these riba-based products.
Yeah, and then I got this book, I can't remember the name, but it is an introductory to Islamic finance.
Okay.
And I started reading, and I thought, this is, because at the time when I was in London 2007, I was actually there to meet a friend from Sweden who moved to London, and he's also been in finance. So we were actually thinking about doing some pension advisory for Muslims. But the thing is, at the time in Sweden in 2007, we didn't have any alternatives for halal investing. There's nothing, okay? We have one alternative now, and that's our ETF, the Saturna.
That's all that exists.
That's
in
all
Sweden.
that it is.
You can't
okay?
access HSBC's funds
nothing.
or BlackRock's, nothing
No.
like that.
Nothing.
Wow. Wahid's not in Sweden?
No.
Wow, so it's just
Unfortunately.
Saturna.
I'd love them to come.
Yeah.
I want to have everyone there.
Well, most of them will be
Because-
listening, hopefully.
yeah, alhamdulillah, yeah. I mean, because it's not fair. I mean, even though, obviously I work for Saturna, it's a good fund, but people need alternatives.
You
as
need the
well.
diversity.
You need to be able to build a portfolio.
Sure.
And at the time, so when we got married, started thinking, because we tried to have kids, wouldn't happen, and then I really started questioning, more and more what I was doing, because even my sheikh said that make niyyah that whatever comes in to the company, that's your salary, comes from halal sources. But I couldn't justify even that, because it was almost 100% haram, all we did. So, and I made a dua in 2009, that, Allah, take me out of this haram business and towards something halal, and make me a tool for you to do good for others,
Wow.
for other Muslims. And so, and I think in December that year, 2009, actually, a headhunter company called me up, and they were looking for a head of sales for a wind power company.
Okay.
So like 1 or 2 months after that dua, the door opened. I got the job, and I left my shares in the company. I didn't sell them.
It wasn't a hard decision for you?
It was very hard,
Really?
because when you make so much money,
Of course.
but in the end, what is money? Go back to that jacket at Eid. what is it? If it's haram money, if my wife get pregnant, I'm gonna feed my kids with this haram money. Okay, I can buy them things. We can go on fancy holidays. We can have a beautiful house, but what is it? So, alhamdulillah, I got this job in May. I started in May 2010, and in, I think, September, October, my wife got pregnant that same
Wow,
year.
mashallah.
So alhamdulillah. So, you know,
Literally, as soon as you made that decision,
yeah, it's amazing.
and it's almost like Allah was waiting for your income to change,
Yeah,
so that you could provide for the children from
exactly.
a halal source. Wow.
So even though I made maybe a fourth, 25%
Huge
of what I
cut.
did
Wow.
before, you know, still had a good life.
Did you ever regret it?
No,
Never.
ever, no.
Wow.
Sometimes I think, well, you know, I could have been a millionaire, you know, because that company went really good, and a few years later he sold the company. So
no disrespect to your friend.
I could have been a millionaire, but you know, it doesn't matter. It would have been haram money anyway. So
No disrespect to your friend, but it would have been a little bit easier if it had all gone bad and the company blew up and all of that.
Alhamdulillah, happy for him. It's fine. It wasn't right for me.
Did he take you aside and was he just like, "What are you doing? Like, why are you leaving?"
I think he was scared at first that I was gonna leave and start a similar business
Yeah.
and take clients. He was really scared about that. But when I told him, no, I'm leaving everything. Okay, I'm not going to be in this business.
I'm out the game.
I'm going to work with wind power, you know, investments.
Yeah.
And that's what So and after that, it was fine. You know, he was kind of relieved.
Did he know you were Muslim? He knew you were
Yeah,
Muslim.
yeah,
the
I
whole
was
time?
Muslim. I was
Okay,
Muslim.
wow. Yeah.
Yeah. Everyone, you know, I was leading the telemarketing team and I worked as an advisor as well. So
Your story is reminding me of.
we used to hang around here we used to work for Royal Bank of Scotland. And,
just here.
you know,
Okay.
it's here. Yeah.
Wow.
So I was here very often.
Your story is reminding me of Ahmed's from Nisba.
Yeah.
Because similarly, he worked in
Yeah.
In a company which was doing less than halal things.
Exactly,
A lot of very interest-based products. And then he wasn't very practicing for a Muslim household, but he wasn't that practicing, highly skeptical. And then through meeting his founder, watch the Nisba episode if you've not seen it, because we got into all of this. It was good fun. But through meeting his co-founder, he got very into religion and then left it all behind.
Alhamdulillah.
To do what he's doing now. So he's at the beginning of that journey. You are now much further.
If you
along.
have the right niyyah,
yeah,
and just
I think we've all kind of gone. I mean, with Kestrl, I was working in Deloitte and PwC. I was a management consultant, and
Kestrl. Now I want to hear because I was going to start asking you about.
You should have. You should have.
Yeah, I love your concept, and I met all of your nice
team.
Colleagues. Yeah,
at Muslim Tech
alhamdulillah.
Fest.
Yeah,
of course.
Amazing people.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah. So tell me.
Let me tell you the story.
Yeah.
I'm sure the viewers, regular listeners, are sick of it by now, but I'll just go through the story. So I graduated in physics. I did my undergrad degree in that. Yeah. But like most people who live in London, you have an idea that you're going to work in financial services.
Okay.
Because that's the main way everyone makes money here. So I went to Deloitte. I was a consultant, and then I moved to other consultancies like Alpha and PwC, working with wealth managers and banks. Helping them to develop digital strategies for their own applications, whether it was launching their own digital bank or a robo-advisor, which was very popular in 2015, 2016. We worked on like the strategy for Nutmeg, and we helped big wealth managers like Invesco develop REIT strategies and things like that.
Yeah.
But as time went on, I was like 24, 25. I got increasingly uncomfortable just thinking, I can't use this product. And my family can't use this, and people in my community can't use this, and I'm not seeing like the alternative. And there was this idea of Islamic finance. It was almost so romanticized in the community that just cut your teeth in conventional and then move into Islamic finance. But when you looked, you couldn't really find anything. There were Islamic banks like Al Rayyan and Gatehouse and a few others, but their services were like quite poor from a user experience, customer service, higher fees. So most people didn't use them. Yeah. Either they had a poor impression of them or they didn't trust them at all. And the biggest kicker was a lot of people didn't even know they existed, especially when you went out of London. I speak to my wife's relatives in Derby or Birmingham, places like that. A lot of them don't even know there were Islamic banks in this country or that we have them now. So I got really disenchanted with what I was doing. And this moment came where it was Ramadan 2016. I was working at the top of this like beautiful skyscraper. It was 11 p.m. at night, and I was there with my whole team just stuck. And I'd had to break my fast there and missed Tarawih and going there at the masjid because we were working late. And I just thought, this is a terrible existence. Right now, like, it's meant to be the most spiritual time of the month, but I'm barely managing to find time to get out and pray and grab a quick bite to eat so I can break my fast. I thought, I've got to do something else. So I took a year out and did an MBA because someone said that's the thing people do when you're trying to move careers or figure yourself out. So I applied. I got into Cambridge, and I didn't know what I was looking for, but two things happened. One, I was introduced to real entrepreneurs for the first time. Cambridge, different MBAs have their own skill sets and reasons for doing them. Cambridge is very good for entrepreneurship. So I met a lot of people who would come to the business school and they would pitch. There was a thing called Pitch and Judge, where every Thursday entrepreneurs would come and pitch to the local angels and high net worths for funding. So I got to sit and watch that, and I thought, okay, that's interesting, but it could never be me. I'm in consulting. I'm just going to work for a big company and do that. But then I met my co-founder, Dayang Termizi. So Dayang, who I think you met,
I met him.
From Malaysia.
Very nice, yes.
And he'd worked in Islamic banking. And there was a moment where we were going for lunch and I was paying for food. And Dayang was like, why aren't you using an Islamic bank? He'd seen my blue Barclays card. He said, what are you doing, right? We pray 5 times a day. We would look for halal restaurants together. He's like, but why aren't you doing that? And I had to explain. Like, I was quite embarrassed. I was like, there are Islamic banks, but they're really poor. And I thought he was going to tell me off. And then he showed me this article which had just come out, which had the CEO of Wahid, Junaid, in the Financial Times. They had just announced that they were launching in the UK. And they told this story about how, we don't have enough Islamic options for Muslims to invest in. There were these things called robo-advisors. Let's introduce a Sharia-compliant one of them. And then I thought, maybe we could do that, right? My own skill set in strategy and fintech, Dayang's in Islamic banking. I don't know what, but we could do something. So that began the journey. We did a nationwide survey. That was the first thing we did. We interviewed 3,000 people around the UK to see if there was demand. There was demand, but people were not going for Islamic products for these reasons: poor customer service, poor user experience, high fees, and just an overall low trust in this industry. We started off thinking, let's launch a digital bank. Realized we weren't going to raise enough money to do that. So then we backtracked and made a budgeting tool, which was going well, but it wasn't making any money. So we came very close to failing. And then suddenly this large Islamic bank in Malaysia, the biggest Islamic bank, Bank Islam, reached out to us and said, look, can we white label your technology? Can we take your technology and apply it to our new digital bank? Because we're launching a new digital Islamic bank. And we said, okay. And we told our investors that was always the plan, but it wasn't the plan, right? We didn't know what was going on. But Allah sent us a lifeline at that time to survive. And, we started working with some of the biggest Islamic banks around the world who were looking to digitize and launch their own Islamic windows or apps in some way. And we would give them this technology to do that. And now what's happening, as you saw at Muslim Tech Fest, is a large bank from Malaysia is looking to enter the market. They have products. We have licenses, so they thought, can we use your license and your app? You launch a digital bank, and we introduce these new features, these new products in the UK. So we're starting off with this current account that pays a Sharia compliant return. We'll introduce savings products. There's an ethical screener as well. So if you spend at a McDonald's, we can flag it and say, by the way, did you know this is...
I subscribed to it, by the way.
Oh, nice.
A couple of months ago.
We'll get you...
I can't use it in Sweden, though, but...
Can't use it in Sweden yet. Not yet, but we want to make it international.
I'm following it. I'm
Sweden's in the EU, so if we get an EU license, it's pretty easy to go. Maybe you can help us launch in Sweden, Scandinavia.
You're welcome. I'll introduce you.
So that's the idea. I hesitate to say like a Monzo for Muslims or a Revolut for Muslims, but the idea is Sharia compliant services, but the same service level that you've come to expect from a Revolut or a Monzo or these like best in show of fintechs. That's kind of what we're doing now. So we're still working with banks and wealth managers as well. That's like some nice revenue for us. But this was the dream. We want to help all these Muslims who live in the West to bank and grow their money without compromising on their beliefs, without feeling like, well, I have no other option or the options that exist are so bad that I can't use
Yeah.
those. So yeah, that's the journey we're headed on. So
Alhamdulillah.
I can understand the feeling that you felt when it was like, okay, we just have
Yeah.
Saturna Capital and there's nothing else here.
And
at least
also
you
the
have that.
feeling when you actually, a door opens for you.
Yeah.
Like it's done for you guys.
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
Alhamdulillah.
Alhamdulillah.
And it's like, I think the thing is, there are many doors which are open for people.
Yeah.
It's just you have to kind of be in the right frame of mind to see
Yeah.
it
Yeah.
sometimes. And
You have to go for it.
exactly, like you say, like the jacket, you losing your jacket.
Yeah.
You could have, been very angry about that, been
Yeah.
furious, just...
For months.
Yeah.
Like, why is like that?
Exactly.
Why is like this?
Exactly,
Yeah.
right? But instead, it led you to getting closer to your community,
Yeah.
So subhanAllah. Wow.
It's amazing.
So I want to talk to you about the problems within the Islamic wealth management scene, because at IFN yesterday, the Islamic Finance big conference that happens every year in London, I was speaking with wealth managers there were two wealth managers I was talking to, one from Bruin Dolphin and one from Rathbones.
Yeah.
And Bruin Dolphin has a product, but it's for high net worths. I think minimum investment 250,000.
Okay, yeah.
Or high net worth, or your net worth has to be that.
Yeah.
And Rathbones doesn't have any, but they were basically lamenting and saying that, look, even if we were to create our own fund, the diversity of products is so small, especially when you're trying to balance a portfolio. So if you want to make something more conservative and less risky, you want to put some debt in there.
Yeah.
But the amount of Sharia compliant debt, or Sukuk, that exists is quite small, especially if your fund is restricted to only investing in the UK.
Yeah.
I think there's only like one or two UK domiciled Sukuks that exist. So their point was, we're all just going to end up building funds which are the same as each other in some way.
Global
right?
equity funds.
Yeah, a global
right?
equity
Yeah,
fund,
I
20%
know.
of which is like Microsoft or something.
Yeah.
And, So have you recognized that problem yourselves at Saturna, and do you see a way out?
I actually had a conversation yesterday. It was about the same thing.
Really?
Yeah. The difficulty about, building portfolios with the Islamic products. I think I could agree. I think you only have one Sukuk.
Yes.
We have one in the US. We're looking to bring it over here as well. So maybe we can have two soon, inshallah.
Inshallah.
But I was sitting there yesterday thinking, they're talking about they don't have enough alternatives. We have one alternative in Sweden. I was like, you have all the alternatives in the world. But I understand. I mean, you would need maybe a commodity based fund if you want to build a portfolio. I mean, even though we have a global mandate in Saturna Al Kautar, we're index agnostic, so we look at 5,000 companies. We don't care about if they're in an index or not,
Oh, really?
Yeah, so we do a screening every month of 5,000 companies.
Fine.
And roughly maybe over 2,000 comes out of Sharia compliant. And out of those we do a ESG screening.
Okay, so it's Sharia and ESG screening.
Yeah.
You do. That's
so
really
that's
interesting.
where the oil companies
Yeah.
goes out the door, Tesla goes out the door,
What about weapons developers?
Yeah, no weapons. No.
Really? Okay. So what about someone like Palantir, for example, who is a big tech company, but they've also produced software which is being used in in drones?
I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah. So it has to. I mean, they should go out in the Sharia screening, isn't it?
But that's the thing. When you look into a lot of these
you have
Sharia
Microsoft
funds
as well with the AI.
Exactly.
It's all. Yeah.
That's the elephant in the room.
Hard. It's hard. I hope we've been talking about this. I spoke to. We did a tour in January. It was
around the UK.
Yeah, with Wahed and Nestor and Riba Free. So we actually talked about this. It should be because we all get the BDS questions. Right?
That's the elephant in the room of Sharia compliance.
It
it's
is.
like, okay, you're
And
Sharia compliant, but is it boycott friendly as well?
Yeah.
I
think we're moving towards that. Hopefully, I think you have you have this screening.
We have an ethical screening.
Hopefully,
Yeah.
but it would be good, like if the big Islamic standard, like IOFI, if they make a stand on it, then it will be easier
we
for
spoke
everyone to follow.
We spoke to someone on a recent episode about this, and their take was that the standards actually account for it.
Yeah.
Right. They do say that you're not meant to be investing into these unethical companies. It's just how it's applied, and it hasn't been applied in that way before. So it's almost like the industry needs to move forward now.
Yeah.
And just say, like, look, we need to just get rid of all of these different companies.
Yeah.
The question then becomes, like, what is left? What is left to invest in?
Yeah, it's true.
Because if all of these guys are compromised, you can argue that Facebook's compromised for pushing certain certain posts out. Microsoft compromised. Google.
Yeah.
If you lose all the FANG companies, you lose the big tech companies. So much of the Sharia funds are US tech.
It is.
Yeah. So what?
Because you tend to go for the large, the value companies. Yeah.
So what do we replace them with? Is the answer like small caps and mid caps?
I think we should look into small cap, maybe developing world. We in the States we have 4 funds. We have the Amana Income Fund, which is very value based. We have the Growth Fund. We have Developing World, and the Participation Fund, which is Sukuk.
Okay.
So maybe something like that also here to look at more developing countries, small cap commodities. Before I joined Saturna, I was actually back in haram finance for 2 years, working for an investment company.
Okay.
And we invested in real estate, commodities, equities, unfortunately bonds, because it was not Islamic. So once again, I was drawn back.
What took you back after you extricated yourself from it?
I was another friend from university. They keep coming with all these ideas to me, and my entrepreneurial Pontus Selander, it wants the.
They see your mile off, Pontus. They're like, oh, we made this guy Muslim. Now we took him away from finance. Now we can take him back to finance.
Yeah. And I thought this time, we're going to be investing in. We're not going to have, bonds is not part of the. It was just like, placing cash for a short term. I get that, but in the end, I just decided that I can't do this. No, I can't do this.
You left again.
Yeah. The money was there again, drawing me big money. But what I did, I met one of, I would say, Sweden's best fund managers, asset allocator, working with a lot of commodities. He was running one of the largest hedge funds in Sweden before. So we became really good friends. And he's a devout Christian as well. So we talked about religion a lot, which was really nice. And became really good friends. And so that's what came out of this journey back into finance. So I think that could be also something in the future for Islamic investors. But I think the diversification needs to be there. I agree, actually.
Does Saturna have any plans for that, or what do you think? What is Saturna's next step?
If the demand is there, definitely.
I think the demand's definitely there.
Yeah.
It's just a question of where do we go from here? Because for Muslims in the UK, people who are listening to this and they're like, okay, Saturna seems interesting.
Yeah.
They can invest into your fund now. Right.
Through any of the platforms
AJ
in
Bell,
the UK.
Hargreaves Lansdowne.
Exactly.
Okay.
So it's an actively managed ETF.
And how do you guys compare to like a Wahid or?
I think we're more, as I said, I think most of the funds tend to follow an index, all right? More passive. We're more active. So, for example, we don't have 16% Microsoft. We might have 4% Microsoft because we might have a German company, at 4% that we thought, okay, this is a good company to invest in. So we want to invest in that.
Which is very different from the HSBC, which is primarily US tech stock.
Yeah, exactly. You follow the index, okay? You want to be close to the index. We want to beat the index. I would say most, that are there maybe 3 funds that are actively managed here in the UK.
Very few.
Yeah.
Very few. So for people who
So-
don't know, actively versus passively managed. Passive is basically you're just following one of the big indexes.
Yeah.
Like there's a FTSE
S&P 500,
index, S&P,
Dow Jones.
and all you're doing is you're replicating how that index is created.
Yeah.
But you're just putting a Sharia filter on top, so that
Exactly.
okay, maybe there's something non-Sharia compliant there. We'll remove that.
Yeah.
And it will just continue. Whereas actively managed means that you guys, your fund managers, are actually going in and saying, I think that this, regardless of whatever the index
Yeah.
is saying, I think we should have 4% of this German company because it's performing
Exactly.
very well, and maybe we can de-risk it by bringing in this Sukuk over here, and it basically, people are making their own decisions.
Yeah.
And there's been this argument for a long time. I think Warren Buffett's the one who said it, that in recorded history, or since they've been recording it, active has never beaten a passive fund. Have you heard it? What's your take on that?
I disagree.
Okay.
In a lot of cases, I could agree. Yeah. I mean, that's the same thing when I worked in this investment company with my colleague Daniel. He would always say, if I can find a good fund manager that could bring me alpha, beat the
Profit.
index.
Yeah.
So beta is the following the index. But if I can find alpha, I'll go with the alpha. If I can't find the alpha, I'll go with the beta. Okay? So if you can find a good fund manager that, over the years, I think you have to look at, we have a 3-year history here in our ETF. It's not, you have to, if you look at the Amana Growth Fund from 1994 until now, we're beating the index over the years. Maybe not every year, but over time, if you do 1% here, 2%, then over time we have beaten the index for our funds in the US, and hopefully we'll do it because this is the same fund managers, Monim Salam, Scott Clymer, they're managing the American funds and also the European fund.
Very cool.
The
We're going to be in the US in a couple of weeks, so
Yeah,
if
great.
there's any Saturna people in California,
yeah. I'll
let me know. It'd be
Yeah.
good to meet them.
yeah.
Yeah.
I'd love you to meet them. Yeah, definitely.
Okay, good. Good.
What I was going to say before, I kind of, I cut myself off. No, the screening, what I was going to say with diversification was that, after a Sharia screening of 5,000 companies, we had 2,000 left. ESG, we have 1,000 left. And then from those 1,000, we look at the fundamentals, right? We look at, is this an interesting company to own? Are they, leading in the market, or, how do they make money? How is the market? So that's why we kind of pick and choose out of these 1,000. And when those fundamentals are done, we have maybe 350 companies
Really?
we can pick choose of. From 5,000 companies
Wow.
to 350, and we only pick 35 to 40.
Oh,
out
really?
Of these. Yeah.
Okay.
So
Okay.
out of the whole cake, we just
That's very
try to
interesting.
pick.
That's very
So this is
interesting.
where we think we can beat the
You guys
market, and
stand
also
out.
diversify. Like
Yeah.
if you have, a beta product, an index fund, maybe we can be the diversification for you,
Absolutely.
because we're not going to be beta. We're going to be something else. And since we're not going to have any oil companies, oil and gas and coal, we have heavy in tech and heavy in pharmaceuticals, bio, yeah.
Okay.
So that there are small ways to diversify right now, if you come back to that discussion. But we need more, of course.
Yeah, absolutely.
More Sukuk,
But it seems very
more-
exciting. I'll definitely be checking it out. So
Yeah.
if people want to find out more about Saturna, they can check it out through your website,
Yes.
I guess. Okay.
Website.
And
yes.
can they reach out to you?
We'll put it out on.
Yeah, we'll
on
put the link.
Yeah,
We'll put the link
your-
on there.
on the YouTube. Yeah.
Nice one.
On the-
Okay, cool. So your story is not yet complete, because what do you want to do next? What are you guys looking to do? Are you looking to expand. You're going to do a lot more events in the UK, aren't you?
Yeah.
Yes.
Try to expand in the UK, of course, and also in Scandinavia.
Okay.
Because I mean, every time I'll follow how many new investors we get every time I give a seminar in a mosque. So or an event we sponsor.
And the uptake's quite high every time you do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a couple of percent. I think when I started last year, I think we've grown by 400%.
Wow.
In investors, because as you said, people don't know.
People don't know.
They don't have a clue.
So it's the best form of marketing, do you
And
think?
people are scared. They don't. I found that here in the UK as well.
Yeah.
Even though you have all these. Well, for me, it's a lot of products, but for you guys, it's maybe not enough. Of course, we can do better. But I found that people are still scared. They don't know what does Sharia say. How do I start? I think most people, they think if I'm going to invest, it sounds so big. Start with £50. Do £50 a month.
See how it goes.
ISA, use an ETF, have 2 ETFs, 3, doesn't matter, or a mutual fund or whatever.
Do you think the best form of marketing is still in person, going and talking to people face to face in masjids, in mosques?
I think so. We're kind of following whatever Saturna has done for the last almost 40 years.
400% growth since you joined, right? So what's driving that?
From very small, of course, but it's just.
Oh yeah, I guess going from 1 to 4 customers is still 400%.
Exactly.
Growth. Exactly. I think you've got more than that, but
yeah. No, so we're not really looking at AUM right now.
Sure.
We just want to bring it out there and let people know that we're here, and also here in the UK, we want to differentiate ourselves. That we do ESG. For me, ESG is Islamic. For me, that's why I was, when I left finance the first time, I was actually looking in an environmental sector.
You were in the wind farms.
Yeah, I
those.
wanted to work in that sector because I thought this is Islamic. Saving the world for global warming and polluting. It's just read the Surah Al-Kawthar or any surah. It's there.
We're guardians of this planet.
Exactly. So
for sure.
So for me, I think all the Islamic funds should be ESG. Definitely. Why would I go and invest in ExxonMobil, even though it might be Sharia compliant? Why? They're polluting the whole.
Yeah, which is a big thing, and I think a lot of Muslims, I think people are starting to care more about it.
I hope so.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, I think ESG has gone a bit quiet.
Yes.
Because
big greenwashing scandals.
Yeah, and now with all the wars, especially conventional finance, they're going to do into defense industry. That's where the money are.
Exactly.
But I think at least we as Muslim, we should push for, ethical, green.
For sure.
Definitely.
Okay, fantastic. Final question. Do you have any... Actually, I've got 2 questions for you.
Yeah.
How do you invest personally? What do you invest into?
I do... So we have... In Sweden, we have similar to an ISA.
Okay.
So like a tax wrapper. So we don't pay capital gains tax on... So I invest in an ISA. I have my foundation is Saturna Capital because that's my only alternative for as an ETF or a fund. I have actually some gold. The HAN ETF. There's a Sharia compliant gold fund actually I can invest in Sweden.
Fine.
It's called the Royal Mint.
Okay.
Responsible physical gold. So those 2 I can have, and then I invest in stocks.
Okay.
There
you go.
My friend Daniel from before, he serves with me with. Right now it's a lot of mining companies,
I see. Okay.
mining in gold, silver.
So they're big, established, listed
Yeah,
companies.
Yeah.
No startups or.
Not really, no.
Fine.
I've done some, private equity investments
Okay.
before, but
Yeah.
not really.
Okay.
More.
Cool. I was
Yes,
going to let you know about the Kestrel funding round, but we can talk about that after.
Yeah, there we go.
And my final question for you is: do you have any advice for us at Kestrel for what we're building? What would you like to see from a digital bank, an Islamic digital bank?
I think I sent you the app
Yes. Yeah.
that my
yeah,
friend
yeah.
was building in
Yes,
Sweden.
you told me.
That was a big unicorn in Sweden, and
Wow.
and also because they had a lot of educational theme to it as well. I think you have as well. What I'm lacking, maybe I would, because what you're building is a one-stop shop,
Yes.
and
Yeah.
I like that. I was looking for purification of
Oh yeah.
single stocks.
Yeah.
That will help.
we do have a purification calculator. on
I
our
know, but
individual stock.
it's on your bank account, isn't it?
Yes. Yeah. That's
yes.
right. That's right. That's right.
And
But if you go into our stock screener, there's also a little purification calculator
okay,
thing
good.
there.
Okay, I haven't found
Show
it
you.
yet. I'll go
It's all going to
around.
change. It's all going to change because now we're introducing the digital bank. So
Yeah.
we'll introduce these features again. But the current account.
But
will be the
I
main thing.
think, I mean, you're already there or almost there, that you if you can be that one-stop shop,
Mm,
why would I go anywhere else?
of course.
Because right now, for myself, in Sweden I have 2 banks for different purposes. I have 4 investment platforms, 4 investment platforms, different platforms.
Wow.
So one I can invest in some things, and so just trying
Yeah,
to-
consolidate it. No one wants all these different platforms.
Yeah,
You don't have any Islamic banks in Sweden, do you?
No.
Okay.
no mortgages, no nothing.
Wow.
So
Wow.
if you
We've got to bring the UK. We've got to bring the UK power
come,
there.
come.
Let's do
Yeah,
it.
we're waiting.
Let's do
We're
it.
waiting.
Let's do it. All right.
Yeah.
Well, Pontus, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you so much.
And
Alhamdulillah.
we'll speak to you very soon. Inshallah, the next episode we'll do in Sweden.
Yeah,
That would be very good.
perfect.
All right then. Pontus, assalamu alaikum. Thank you very much.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Thank you for listening to the Muslim Money Talk podcast. If you like what you heard, then please subscribe to Muslim Money Talk wherever you might have been listening to this. Give us a like and share it with someone who you think might be interested. It really, really helps us out. Thank you, assalamu alaikum, and see you next time.